Those on the left like to dismiss New Zealand First as a bunch of corrupt grifters importing Trump-style politics to New Zealand. And there is a lot of truth to this. New Zealand First is corrupt, and they do seek to emulate MAGA. This is disgraceful and should be strongly condemned. But there is a lot more to New Zealand First than this. New Zealand First has done some very good things. They have done far more good than their idiot coalition partners. They have counterbalanced the deranged agendas of those coalition partners. National and ACT wanted to raise the retirement age. They wanted to make old people work to help fund tax cuts for their rich donors. New Zealand First said no. And so, the retirement age remained the same. National and ACT wanted to freeze the minimum wage, allowing inflation to gradually destroy it, and throwing the poorest workers under the bus. New Zealand First said no. And so, the minimum wage has been increased. ACT and National wanted to let rich foreigners flood the housing market in the middle of a housing crisis. They prioritise rich foreigners over New Zealand citizens. Once again, Winston Peters said no. And so, the foreign buyers ban has largely remained in place. And there is more. New Zealand First voted with the opposition to pass a bill making it a crime to steal workers' wages. A great pro-worker Labour Party bill was passed because New Zealand First had the decency to support it. New Zealand First has ensured that deeper spending cuts and privatisation cannot occur. In the next term National and ACT want asset sales, New Zealand First is unlikely to tolerate this. Already Winston has strongly denounced it. And Shane Jones has even gone so far as to argue that we should be nationalising the gentailers. New Zealand First has also delivered new mothers the right to spend a minimum of 3 days in a hospital after giving birth. That is another good policy. New Zealand First has campaigned on some good policy. A tax-free threshold, adjusting tax brackets to inflation, a substantially higher minimum wage. These policies massively benefit working class people. Many people do not know about this. Winston should be screaming about these achievements. They paint a far more nuanced picture of his political party. They prove it is not just about stupid, meaningless culture war nonsense. New Zealand First has very serious flaws. They are far from ideal, but they cannot be dismissed as far-right lunatics. They cannot be written off as mere MAGA grifters. They clearly have some level of principle. They clearly do care about the country, at least more than ACT or National do. I am pleased that they have largely overtaken ACT in the polls. They are far better. Even if the coalition gets re-elected, I will view it as a victory if New Zealand First has more influence. The coalition is bad, but the more influence New Zealand First has, the more tolerable it will be.